because of Puerto Ricans. Because the Puerto Ricans are like spaghetti and white rice and lasagna and white rice.
The white rice on the side always provides.
I mean,
You heard
yo,
that
I don't know what
freestyle?
it is.
But yeah, man. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the music on, dog. No wonder it feels
Oh,
so
we
dead and
all did.
quiet.
Yeah, no
Oh,
wonder.
and bruh. But yeah, if y'all don't notice, Joe back and he's in vacation mode. That's Florida Stanley right now. For the Office fans, you already know the vibes.
Have you lost your mind, or do I have to help you find it?
How's it been so far being back in town, Joe?
It's dope, man. It's great being back here. It's always a feeling that you get when you return to the place that most recently felt like home. And being out in Vegas for 2 years, I've done everything I could to establish that as my home. And while 2 years cannot replace freaking 25 years that I've been in this 5 mile radius of Florida, it's something different. And it's crazy. We were driving down the highways, and since I feel like I'm living here right now because I've been here so long, like I'll see a Florida Gators license plate. I'm like, oh shit, Florida Gator license plate. I'm like, oh yeah, we're in Florida. Like my mind thinks I'm so comforted in my home in Vegas, which right now that is my comfort home. But it's just crazy how the mind works once you're in an environment that just takes over everything you're even thinking.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I appreciate that. I'm happy to be here.
Bro, it's hilarious because as soon as you started talking, because like we said in the beginning, we hadn't set the vibe yet with the music. So I just clicked on one real quick, thinking it's the one that I usually listen to. And I click on it, and it's just like inspirational, real, like feeling type music. And then the way you was talking, like it just matched the music, and it looked like you were doing like a real time reel. You know what I mean?
Oh,
That you
so
would swipe by. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you gotta clip that one.
You got to put that emotional music in the background. Some scenes are like the beach, waves, you looking at a seagull, eating a turkey.
love
You know what
that.
I'm saying?
With my grounded hat.
Exactly. But yeah, man, before we got on, we was talking a little bit about that Mark Twain Prize, which is like an award that they've been giving out since like 1998. That's basically something they give to a comedian or somebody that's like involved in comedy in a certain way. And the most recent person that got awarded it was Adam Sandler. And it was dope because they had Dana Carvey, Luis Guzman, Rob Schneider, Ben Stiller, Jennifer Aniston, Judd Apatow, Drew Barrymore, Steve Buscemi, Conan O'Brien, Chris Rock.
Before you explain what that prize is, I just want to talk about Adam Sandler. Is he goated?
Adam Sandler's goated for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But he's been goated for a long time, in my opinion, bro. Like,
but he's
his run was great.
Right? Okay, that's what I'm saying. So he deserves that. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Facts. I think like for people like us, we might feel like it might be a little premature, or we might look at it like what? But bro, he's been at it. Been at it. And even just how he started, I believe he started Saturday Night Live. You know what I mean? Like he really did the whole thing. You know what I mean?
That list you named of people who were there for him, that just shows like.
And it's dope because they always do, it's all comedy people. So they always do like a little bit, like 5 minutes or so, busting a person's balls and then finally like giving them their props at the end. It's like almost like a roast even. Like a roast. It's more lighthearted, But I'm going to run down some of the past winners, right? And you guys kind of let me know on a scale of 1 through 5, 5 being the highest, how major you think they are and how deserving they think they are of this award. All right. I'm gonna give you the year too. So to me, that's gonna impact it a little too. So let's start with one of the first winners. So they started in 98, and in 2001, Whoopi Goldberg got it. I'm gonna mention some of the people that honored her: Robin Williams, Billy Crystal, Wanda Sykes, Cedric the Entertainer, Chris Tucker, Tommy Davidson, Harry Belafonte. What do y'all think? Whoopi Goldberg.
I'll give her like a 3.5 from me.
Out of 5?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, bro. She's hilarious, but like she's not a 5 in my book.
But you know what? So this is kind of plays into like sports comparisons, right? So what are we comparing? Like classics make a Sister Act both
So
of them.
thi- so
She
this
had Lauryn Hill and that shit. Like those were classics. So that's like a classic album for her. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna steal this from Drink Champs. The parameters are whatever you feel like is what you're judging
Okay.
it off of.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know
I
what I
like
mean?
that. I like that.
Like for me, I'm gonna say 2.5 just because the stuff that I saw was when I was young. I didn't find it so humorous. It was like something that it was like, you know, it was cool for what it was. I remember watching Sister Act as a kid, you know, the 1 and 2. I think they
Ghost.
made another one. Ghost, I wasn't a big fan. I'm not a big Whoopi guy.
Nah. Those are classics. Those are.
But then again, you know, you got to realize too, Joe, you were when those came out, you were a little bit older than us. You know what I'm saying? So you
I
were
don't know.
able
I
to,
was very young. I was watching that like at 11 years old.
bro. That's what I'm saying. That we
Oh
were
yeah,
like
yeah. No,
not
no,
that
I get
old. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
I don't think the time has anything to do with it. Just because, for example, I put Hey Arnold on now, and my kids started watching it themselves. You know what I
bro.
mean?
If you
If it's
watch
dope, it's dope. You
Ghost
know.
today, it's a crazy movie. I don't know. Well, that's what I'm. No, I won't give her 5, but I think at that time, you know what? When you read the people who were there for her, now I'm thinking, are these people there for them, or are they because they started to stay relevant and they're part of an event?
I think it might be a little bit of both because if you're somebody that hasn't really been in the public eye like that, and she hits you up, hey, would you like to honor me at this event? You probably perk up for the idea. Oh man, I'm gonna have something that might be covered on TV and stuff, and at the same time, I'm able to see my old friends and honor one of my friends. So I think it probably hits on every level, you know.
Quincy said you said 3.5.
3.5, yeah,
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that.
yeah.
But
All
I
right.
think she's a little more 3.5.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look back on her stuff and see if there's something that I might have missed and possibly watch another movie or something. Because even her getting this,
Remember the movie with the dinosaur?
I kind of. Oh, but she was the voice, right?
No, it was like she was best friends with a dinosaur or something. Nah, hold on.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Before I
remember
keep
that.
going, I'm gonna just see.
But
No,
yeah,
but that's a good. That's a good. But so is that award? What is that award specifically for? Not for comedy, right?
it's like a humorist award. It's kind of just
Oh, see,
something that
yeah.
they give. Like for example, I'm gonna tell you another person that got it. So in 2004, Lorne Michaels got it. Which Lorne Michaels is the creator of Saturday Night. Well, one of the co-creators of Saturday Night Live, and some of the people that honored him was Steve Martin, Dan Aykroyd, Tina Fey, Maya
Oh,
Rudolph, David
classic.
Spade, Conan O'Brien, Christopher Walken,
Yep.
John McCain, and
But see, the
Amy
thing for me
Poehler.
is like for him, I wouldn't even be able to really speak on him as like because I'm looking at funny, and I don't know. I haven't really seen anything from him
You
like I
watch
know he,
Saturday Night Live?
of course, but I'm saying
Do you
like
feel like it's
I
funny?
of course. But I was
I
what I'm
don't.
saying,
I would give him a 1.
really.
Saturday Night
So,
Live
so,
for me is not the humor that I like at all.
so I enjoy Saturday Night Live, but
I love it.
I
I
don't
watched
know. I don't know
it.
what part he. I mean, I know he's one of the producers, but I don't know where and how he
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 contributed.
called
writes as well too.
at the so I watched the special. Saturday Night Live is 6-day process. They start Monday, writing. Thursday, they start acting them out. Friday, they pick them. And once they pick them, he's the last one to decide. Cut that one. Play that one.
Think Vince McMahon, but for
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live.
He's always the end all be all. So everything that you see on TV was his decision.
So that's
And
dope. Like I can see how
real
he
quick, Quincy,
contributes.
just to
Go
give
ahead.
you a couple of other things, he also was involved in 30 Rock. You know what
Okay,
I mean?
I remember that
As
show.
a,
Yeah. See, I think I remember seeing him on that one. Okay.
That was supposed to be like about. That's
It is. It was basically it was like a spoof of like a SNL type show and what goes on a day to day. There was another show that he was a part and a few movies too, but his main claim to fame is Saturday Night Live. I mean, 40 something years running. You know, what I mean, one of the top rated shows.
Yeah. I'll still give him the same 3.5.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a big fan and he plays a part of something that I enjoy watching.
Definitely respect everything he did, but like I said, for me, it's a 1 because I don't find any of that funny. I love 30 Rock, but that was more Tina Fey for me
Mm-hmm.
and
I
Alec
can't.
Baldwin.
Yeah, I can't really. I'm gonna have to opt out on that one because I don't. Like I said, I enjoy Saturday Night Live, but just because you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna give Vince McMahon 4 as a wrestler just because he conducts the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I was gonna push back, bro. You said I can't argue with that, bro. I cannot argue with that. All right. So Lauren Michaels, that's 1. let me start getting into people that's more our realm, and I'm gonna save one that is. It might turn into something else, but we'll get there when we get there. Oh, here's one that I know we're gonna disagree on. Will Ferrell. Some of the people that honored him in 2011 was Conan O'Brien, John C. Riley, Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Paul Rudd, Matthew Broderick. What do y'all give him?
Oh man, that's tough.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna say he gets a 3.5 for me too, because it's not a 4 and it's not a 3. That's for sure.
I was gonna go 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
He got some joints, man.
He has some stuff that's hilarious.
Yeah, bro.
But he has some stuff that equally doesn't make me laugh at all. Like I just have a straight face. So, like Anchorman to me, bro, is whack.
Yeah, I've never.
Everybody loves Anchorman, and to me, that joint was whack, like super whack.
But then on the flip side, bro, I love Step Brothers.
Step Brothers is funny.
You know what I'm saying?
Super
Like,
funny.
Yeah.
That Ricky Bobby joint, whack.
Yeah.
Whack.
I feel like that one really just caught us at a time where, like, there was quotes from the movie that like kids really like enjoyed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Being 15, like that's what made it what it was. But the movie itself was.
What about you, Joe?
I got his movies. Well, he got it in 2011, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by 2011, he had Anchorman. Well, first of all, he had Elf. And what was that movie where he was
and real quick to touch on Lord Norm Michaels' pause, Will Ferrell was also on Saturday Night Live, and he was well known for Saturday Night Live.
What's that movie where he was a Frank the Tank, where he was doing like the beer shit? It's super fucking popular.
Old School.
So, quick story about Will Ferrell, and he's going to be one of my favorites, so I'll just go ahead and say it now. He almost didn't get Elf because of the character he played in Old School. They're like, there's no way the guy who's playing Frank the Tank is going to play Elf. But by that, he had Old School, Elf. He had Anchorman. He had Kicking and Screaming, where he was a soccer coach. They had like Dick Buckus in that movie, right? Remember that shit?
Mm-hmm.
He had The Wedding Crashers, where he was his boy who was living Mom Meatloaf. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Step Brothers. I hated Talladega Nights. I hated Blaze of Glory. I hated Step My Pro. I'm with you with the corny movies. I don't fuck with them. But then the other guys, don't play that shit. Remember?
The other guys was pretty good.
Like, so, and then he hit the car. Then he has so many memorable roles, memorable quotes, and all of them completely different characters. There's not a lot of, there's not a lot of comedians who can do that, who have done that.
Funny enough,
the character for each and every single movie is a completely different person, and it's still funny.
Funny enough, one of my favorite roles that he played was in The Office, D'Angelo.
Oh yeah,
D'Angelo Vickers.
I hated that season.
It's funny because I was like, dang, Will Ferrell. I was kind of tight at the beginning, but as it went on, I really enjoyed him on the show.
I don't know why I don't like it. I do not like that. So that's what I'm saying. I don't love everything from him, but I do feel, because I didn't like the guy he played on there. For some reason, I didn't like that character. But the thing is that he can give you different characters, and for a comedian to be able to do that and provide so many different ways to laugh at them, that's a talent, bro. I give that to Will Ferrell. There's not a lot of people I give that.
I feel that. So what rating would you give him?
Will Ferrell, I'll give him a 5 straight up. I love Will Ferrell because he was in Austin Powers. Remember, he picked him up. He was just like always trying to kill him and he never died.
Yeah.
Bro.
All right, so let's go to the next one. I'm gonna just run off a couple more. All right, here we go. 2015, Eddie Murphy. The people that honored him included Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Arsenio Hall, Jay Farrell, Tracy Morgan, Trevor Noah, George Lopez, Kathy Griffin. What y'all think about Eddie, man?
Man, Eddie gets a 4 or 5 from me, dog.
Bro, I was watching Life yesterday.
Yo, come on, man.
What year was this?
2015.
Oh, so they slept on him.
Facts.
He was done by then. He was retiring by then.
But he also was not doing a lot of things at that time. And from what I've heard on a lot of comedian things, there's a lot of these comedians that get offered awards and things like that they just turn them down.
But between 2000 and 2010, he had Nutty Professor, All the Shreks, Dr. Dolittle, Haunted Mansion, Dream Girls. Like, that's when he should have been in there. So for that year, I don't know. But Eddie gets a 5 for you. I don't know about that year.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he just told them nah. Like they tried to get him in maybe 10 years earlier, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good." They be doing that, bro. They be doing that.
I never heard. No, that's interesting. That's an interesting.
For example, there was a crazy man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you this other one that's on this list, and then I'm gonna tell you this story, and then we'll talk about it. So check this out. 2009. Those who honored this guy included Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Sinbad, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Steve Wright, Willie Nelson, Carl Reiner, Dick Gregory, Rita Moreno, and Felicia Rashad. Who do you think I'm talking about?
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, bro. Bill Cosby. Funny enough.
Yeah, that's how.
Funny enough, what we were talking about earlier, he actually accepted an award that Jerry Seinfeld turned down, a comedy award, which happened to, and this was off an episode of Comedians in Cars with Jerry Seinfeld and Seth Rogen. And that night happened to be the night that Seth Rogen was with, dang, I forgot his name. I can't believe I forgot it. The guy that started telling the Bill Cosby joke that made people start looking into it. He's a black comedian with glasses.
Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress. So Seth Rogen is with Hannibal Buress at, I believe, the after party of that event, right? So they're at the event. Seth Rogen is still kind of young in the Hollywood thing, so he still kind of gets starstruck and everything. So Bill Cosby passes by, and they're on the stage. I think it was after it. Basically, they're on the stage. He's talking to Hannibal. Bill Cosby's there too, and he's telling Hannibal like, "Yo, that's Bill Cosby right there." You know what I mean? They're talking in a private conversation. They're not on stage like putting on a show. So he's telling Hannibal, "That's Bill Cosby right there." And Hannibal's like, "Oh, him? Hey, that dude's raped a whole bunch of women. F that guy." And wow. Seth Rogen was like, "What?" And then what's it called? About a month or so later, he was saying that that's when Hannibal started doing the joke. Like about a month after that, he started telling the joke.
He knew it already. That's why he didn't fuck with him. And then he started the joke about it.
Exactly. And the joking thing was basically him kind of trying to get it out there. You know what I mean?
Damn. Crazy. I love Hannibal Buress. He's one of my. I got him on my list.
He's hilarious on and everything he's on, bro. Any kind of appearance,
bro. And that's what I
Workaholics is funny. But honestly, I'm not even gonna ask your rating for Bill Cosby because Bill Cosby was one for me, dog. That I looked, and this kind of goes into like something we've talked about before about just being solid all the way around. Like Bill Cosby's a dude that I looked up to a lot as a kid, just because I was a guy that didn't have a father in a lower income neighborhood with a lot of crazy stuff happening. And you watch the Cosby Show, and you really learn some lessons. You know what I'm saying? You really. The way they presented that show and just being a kid, a lot of kids from my era, bro, that was like something that was really important to them. The way the Cosby Show, you know, tackled these situations and just the show in general, the family dynamic, all of it. You know what I'm saying? You watched that and it was something that really resonated with you and was important, you know?
Love that show. Love this.
So when all that stuff came out and then it basically was shown that it was true, you know, that was one that really, really broke my heart. And it kind of goes back to what I was talking about. Like, you got to be solid through and through. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's almost like everything that he did is null and void because of what he was doing through that period. You know what I'm saying? And it's so sad that that's going to be his legacy. You know what I mean? Like, this could have been something that literally carried on for generations and really just set the example. But now he's just tarnished.
And without going on the tangent, one of the conspiracy theory things that went around is that he was about to be the head of NBC before that happened.
Yeah.
You heard that?
Yeah, I heard that. And another crazy thing is, did you see the one that was going around about them saying that Michael Jackson was getting ready to basically get either buy Sony or basically get the rights to most of their catalog
Marvel.
and get the Marvel catalog as well.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
He
That
was
one I
putting
saw a video. He actually said it himself. It's not a rumor. He was literally saying it before he passed away. That
no, but I'm saying the rumor is that that was part of the reason why he passed
that
away
happened. Yeah,
because
yeah.
it was like, nah, this ain't gonna happen, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And his doctor lost the. We're going to tangent, but his doctor lost the lawsuit.
Tangent on, my friend.
No. I like the comedian thing. Is there any more?
Yeah, let me. Here's a good one. Tina Fey. She was honored in 2010. The people that honored her is Alec Baldwin, Amy Poehler, Steve Martin, Steve Carell, Jimmy Fallon, Fred Armisen. What
I
do
love
y'all
She's
think?
hilarious. I like her. I know her more so from Saturday Night Live rather than
nothing.
I know she's in 30 Rock, but like I know her
So
from
you actually mess with Saturday Night Live then?
yeah. I mean,
Oh,
it's not like I watch it
yeah, but I
every
don't
week,
watch it
but
at all. So I
yeah,
don't. Yeah,
Oh,
I
I've
definitely
watched
like.
every single episode for sure.
Oh yeah, okay.
but yeah, her. I'll probably give her a 4, and the only reason I'm gonna say 4 is because I haven't consumed enough content of hers to put her up there. But all the content I've seen from her has been elite.
Mm-hmm.
She's
See,
super
Baby
hilarious.
Mama.
I seen some of it, but I didn't finish it.
That was her first like big movie, and it was fucking hilarious. That's before she did movies.
She's amazing, bro. Her mind for comedy is also hilarious too.
That
All right, let's see. There was one I definitely wanted to talk about. 2019, Dave
The goat,
Chappelle.
the goat, the only
Those
one I
who
really
honored
knew.
those who honored him. Oh man, that's a list right there. Q-Tip, John Stewart, Bradley Cooper, Morgan Freeman, Aziz, Lorne Michaels, Mos Def, Talib, Erica Badu, Sarah Silverman, Keenan Thompson, Neil Brennan, Michael Che, Colin Jost, Chris Tucker, Tiffany Haddish, Common, John Legend, Chrissy Teigen.
those was just the ones that got in.
Right.
I'm gonna give Chappelle a 6 out of 5.
You feel me? Five.
And like I said, I never was really a fan of his shows. I can't even say I watched all of them. I watched all the classic episodes, and it wasn't until late in his career that I appreciate him. But now I appreciate him, and everything is everything, no matter if I saw everything or not. I'm sure it was just funny. I just never went back and did it. But yeah, that mother, he's just there's no one who's done it like that. Like Richard Pryor, I compare Richard Pryor because the type of comedy that you have to be that person to be
Facts.
to do those jokes. Nobody else can do those jokes that those people are doing.
Dave Chappelle is one of those that I kind of put on the level of Michael Jordan in the sense that I'm happy that I was able to witness it live. You know what I mean? Like I'm happy that I have memories of actually being the age that, you know what I'm saying? Like being alive and being cognizant that I'm watching like a master, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's how, we caught the Dave Chappelle show like live. Like that was like, bro, in Wentworth, next day, I don't remember what day the Chappelle show would come out, but after the episode dropped, the next day on the bus, bro, we was all talking about that, dog.
Yep.
All of us. Edgar used to love it. Edgar's one that we played Call of Duty with a lot. That me and Quincy grew up with him also, and Joe's actually played with him Call of Duty. Bro, and Edgar's a Dominican dude that moved out here, didn't even really know English, and he only had been here a couple years, and he was a huge that's how deep reaching the comedy was and how it hit him. Like
Did
he
y'all
was,
watch Dave Chappelle Block Party?
yeah, facts.
Bruh. I still to this day, that rendition that Lauryn Hill did of Killing Me Softly, that she has never done anywhere else in life. I literally had to rip that audio and put that shit on my phone. And I can still to this day listen to it over. Like she sang it in such a way that nobody has ever sang it before. Like the melodies and tones. And for her to do something like that for him and Kanye and like it was just it's crazy someone to have that amount of people who fuck with you to come and put something like that together just off the strength of you. It was Dave Chappelle's Block Party. And that shit was fucking amazing.
Another thing he did like that was Mos Def's performance on Chappelle's show, where he did that Close Edge song, and he did it. He's Chappelle's driving, Mos Def is in the passenger seat, and they're just playing the beat through the speakers of the car, and he performed that song live.
Yeah,
That was that Don't Push Me, cause
yeah.
I'm
I don't
close
think I've
to the
seen that video.
streets,
But
to
I'm
the
gonna
beast. That man, you gotta watch that. That's one of the firest performances. Kanye, Talib, and Freeway did a live performance of Two Words on Chappelle's show. Oh, I mean, Kanye,
Oh
before
yeah,
he
two
even had
words.
any singles, he was performing on Chappelle's show with one of Common's singles that he was on before Kanye was anything. Chappelle's show, goated, super goated. Let me go through like maybe
yeah,
one or two more of
it
these.
was endless of people who would love to talk with you.
All right, here we go. 2016, Bill Murray. Those who honor Murray include Dave Letterman, Emma Stone, Bill Hader, Miley Cyrus, Aziz Ansari, Jimmy Kimmel, Sigourney Weaver. What y'all think of the boy?
I think he's a cult. I think he's like a pop. I think it's popular like Bill Murray. What do you guys think?
Like a cult icon?
Yeah.
I put Bill Murray on the category of Chevy Chase.
I don't know. Chevy Chase was a dickhead.
As far as what, like as a person? No, I'm just talking about the content.
Okay.
Like content wise, there were guys that really, really made their names before our time, but have
Yeah.
always continued to be funny in whatever they in.
Did you guys watch Groundhog Day?
What's Groundhog Day? It sounds familiar.
Yeah, because it's literally when everybody mentions it. So it's you know how what the groundhog actually represents, right? What happens when they do that, right? You know if winter's gonna last longer. So it's a dude who wakes up. It's Groundhog Day. He sees what's gonna happen with the groundhog. He goes to sleep that night and he relives that day over and over and over again. So people like adapted that to like the 9 to 5. Like it's Groundhog Day because you're waking up in the same routine, same.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah, and that's what it kind of plays into, like the same routine. It feels like you're living the same day over and over and over again.
Dang, that sounds crazy. I gotta watch that.
Watch it. But so that's like a cult classic, and then the Ghostbusters.
Of course, yeah, Ghostbusters.
But outside of that,
Space Jam.
Space Jam. Yeah, I was about to say.
But
I ain't gonna lie, he was funny in Zombieland, bro, and that was like.
But that's why they put him in there because by then social media was so big, they knew people were gonna love seeing him in there. Reaction.
For me, Bill Murray's like Tina Fey. I would give him probably a 4, but I wouldn't put him higher just because, like the Groundhog Day, I never even seen it. You know what I mean? I haven't consumed enough of his content, but everything I've seen him in is super dope. I like the persona. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you just don't like the persona, Joe. It doesn't really resonate.
No, I fuck with him. Well, I don't see why people like glorify him. Like what are you glorifying? What movies? What shows?
I think it's the previous work, bro. I'm gonna pull him up right now, and I believe, if I remember correctly, bro, he got a crazy run of classics in like the 70s and 80s that like are like known as like the classic movies of classic all the time.
You fuck with Bill Murray, Quincy?
I mean, he get a 3.5 from me, just from, like I said, I haven't seen enough of him to say, you know what I'm saying, I rock with him on above that, but from what I've seen so far, Caddyshack, you know what I'm saying, like
Caddyshack.
There are a few joints that
he wasn't a Scrooge.
Scrooge.
He played Scrooge.
Yeah, he played Scrooge.
Little Shop of Horrors.
But he wasn't the main character. That was Rick Moranis' movie.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like him in it, you know what I mean?
Nah, he didn't have any classes that he led, any leading roles.
I get what you're saying, but I would still say like
I still fuck with him, but that's what I mean. I just don't put him up there.
I feel what you're saying, but my judgment of it is like if you're funny every time, you know what I mean? Like no matter where I see you, how I see you, you're funny. You know what I'm saying? And to me, he's one of those like whatever he's. Oh, remember Osmosis Jones? He was the guy that they were in his body.
Yeah. What About Bob too? I remember What About Bob. My mom loved that movie, and he was in King King.
Garfield. He played Garfield.
All right, I fuck with him. But yeah, in Zombieland, like that reveal, I watched it in the movie theater when he came out that house, and they thought he was dead because just he looked old as fuck.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah, like I said, I'll give him a 4 just because I haven't seen enough of his stuff. But every time I've seen him, he's been hilarious to me. You said 3.5, Quincy?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say, Joe?
For Bill Murray, I
Yeah,
give him a 3.
3. All right, all right. I'm gonna say one more. Let me see. Let me see if I could pick like a off the wall kind of one. Here we go. George Carlin, 2008. The award is not intended to be given posthumously, but Carlin's death occurred between the announcement and the ceremony. So he's the only one that was dead when they honored him.
So they had to, yeah.
Yeah. So the people that honored him was Joan Rivers, Jon Stewart, Bill Maher, Louis Black, Dennis Leary, Margaret Cho, Gary Shandling, Lily Tomlin. What y'all think about George Carlin?
What do you think, Joe?
Well, I know George Carlin is one of Kevin Hart. No. What man?
George Carlin is like when we saw him, he was kind of like the older white dude with like the slick back hair, but it was receding. And he did like a special where he really goes into like politics and religions and stuff. And he's real like blunt about the way he talks about it, like the way he talks about God and everything. But a lot of people like him because he's like very shocking the way he says stuff. But it's like when you really think about what he's saying, it's like, oh, this dude is saying something.
I remember now. Yeah, he did the stand up where he was the one that basically made the joke about how everybody believes in, you know, this a magical place or whatever, like in the sky.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. He did the bit in the beginning of Poltergeist. They kind of opened up Poltergeist.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Zeitgeist.
I Zeitgeist. I said Poltergeist. I'm tripping. But yeah, Zeitgeist. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you need to tap in a little more to him. He has a lot. To me, for this award, for my criteria, I would give him a 2. Because for me, I don't really find George Carlin funny, but I do find what he's like. When I watch his specials, it's more like, to me, it's kind of like a podcast. You know what I mean? Like where it's just interesting what he's saying and it captivates you, but I'm not laughing. You know what I mean? So as far as like funny, I wouldn't put him up there. But if I had opportunity to see him, I would have went to see him.
So let me twist in this perspective. As an artist, so this is something. So it was Kevin Hart, right? And Kevin Hart said that George Carlin was one of his biggest inspirations because George Carlin had 10 comedy stand-up specials, and he's like, you know how hard it is to do 10 hours of brand new jokes. 10 hours of brand new jokes. Like not. He said by 15 years in the game, Kevin Hart only done 4, and he was like, how do you do 10? So it's like, to have that kind of, I don't know what, boldness or just confidence or just
work ethic.
It doesn't matter what anybody, I'm gonna put out, but there's a lot of people who really found it funny, you know. But just to be able to create that much, I don't think a lot of people have not done that, you know.
Yeah, facts, man. He always had super, and when you heard his stuff, it was very well thought out. He's attacking her from every angle and he kind of has an answer already in the act for everything that's kind of involved. So like I said, I'm going to give him a 2 for the criteria that I've been going off of, because I'm not going to say 5 when it's not in the same criteria for me. But as far as like as far as what he did, like, and just me enjoying him, period, pause, I thought he was super dope. I would have gave him a 5, but just funny, just me going, ha ha, nah.
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
I mean, I haven't seen enough to give it. Like I'll say the same, 2.5, 2.5. The stuff I've seen is dope, but I haven't seen enough.
What about you,
I
Joe?
don't even front like I watched it all. I just know about him, and it makes sense why he would receive that award.
He's such a big influence on so many comedians. Anytime any comedian talks about one of their influences or somebody that they find to be one of the funniest comedians of all time, they always mention George Carlin. Every type of comedian, for any kind of style, any era, you would think it was just like a certain age or a certain race or no, bro. Everybody finds him to be one of the GOATs.
Yeah, I see that he has like a special called Euro All Disease. I feel like that's the special that tapped into that zeitgeist statement. So I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, check him out. He's super dope, bro. He's super dope.
I mentioned in the chat, so forget.
Mhm.
Yo,
You
ask
think
your question, Joe, so we
Seinfeld?
can wrap up.
What?
Ask your question that you put in the chat here, so we can start wrapping up.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, it's gonna get into it. So,
I bet.
um, comedy, right? When is it not comedy? And we were kind of
Mm.
talking about this earlier, like where you're like, no, say the joke, and then you hear the joke, and you're like, yo, you ready to fight somebody? So I watched every single Comedy Central roast, and we talk about it like with my people, like with Jay and everybody, and we all laugh because we all say we can take the joke, but can you really take the joke? Because you hear how they go in on
They
it.
go in, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You think y'all could really take the joke? If we was at Les, so we gotta have the barbecue in a couple weeks at Lester's crib. He's gonna hold it down. If we really sat one person in the chair and we really went in on them in front of all of us, you think y'all could take that personally?
So I'm gonna answer with a caveat. I could take it for sure, but it has to be a good spirited roast.
Yeah.
Because I've also seen some roast, and usually it's lower level ones, but I've also seen some roast where it's just straight cringe, where it's like, bro, you're just insulting the person. Like there's no laugh at the end. You're just trying to get like a bully joke off. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That kind of thing. Nah, but if you're actually making it, actually bringing it up lightheartedly and joking about it, even if you're touching on real stuff, I could take it.
Mhm. Yeah, for me, it's got to be someone. It's got to be people I actually respect too. Like if
Right?
I don't really respect you, like especially like if it's a bunch of comedians, like for example, I've seen like Snoop Dogg do a roast, like he'd be a part of a roast. I can't remember who it was, but he was actually
I think he did the Bieber one and like Martha Stewart.
yeah. And it's like, I know you're not a comedian, but I respect you. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like if it was like some bum person there, like I have no respect for this person, and they're just kind of getting it. I don't know. I probably
So
wouldn't
the
be able to.
person roasting you is important.
Yeah, like they don't have to really be important to everybody. I just have to respect them in a
I
way.
mean,
Like,
it's an important aspect to you,
oh,
like who's
yes,
doing it.
it's an important
Yeah.
aspect. Yeah.
And that's what's funny because so the roast situation is like all the roasters roast each other and then they roast the main person.
Mhm.
So if everybody's there to roast you, that's cool. But then if a couple people start roasting each other, then it's like, hold up, that's a whole different statement. You know what I'm saying? Everybody came here to talk about me. I'm respecting, and that's how it goes down. And I seen like some comedians are like, yo, like who are you? Like who are you? Like Blake Griffin was on there talking wild shit to Kate.
Mm-hmm.
Wild shit,
Mhm.
and I was like, wow. And that's what I mean. Like you're 100% right. I think it depends. I think to sum up what both of y'all said, depends on the person who's saying the joke.
Mhm.
Depends on how they're saying it and who it is. Those two things. How you're saying it and who you are. If you don't fall in any of those two, hey, we fighting.
Facts.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
But
we ended up getting carried away like we always do, but
mhm.
carried away in the best way possible. We got a couple pretty dope topics that we're gonna tap into on the next episode that we didn't get into this week. A big thing that's been coming up, just to kind of leave a little cliffhanger. A big thing that's been coming up is people showing up in your life, and just the aspect of how much should you count on people around you.
Mm.
It's a big thing that's been coming up with all of us, I feel like, and I feel like it's a dope topic to tap into because I feel like a lot of people don't even know how to really navigate that. And it could be a really dope episode to just give people an insight of like how you should really attack things, especially when you really don't have the intention of doing what you're saying that you're gonna do.
Mhm.
Love it.
Anything y'all wanna get off your chesticles?
Well, man, I just want y'all boys to know that I got the confirmation. January is a go. So one of these upcoming episodes we're gonna have January on. For those listening, January Miller, she is a good friend of mine. She actually played basketball all 4 years at University of Florida.
Okay.
She's now in the film industry, working a lot behind the scenes, got a lot of dope experiences. She worked on the show Ozark. So just a lot of dope things that she's been, kind of tackling post grad life, and we're gonna tap into that. So I'm super excited to have her on the show.
Yeah, man. I think I think everybody who's listening, who supports, like I said, we want to continue to put different stuff out, and I think this series of features we're gonna have is gonna be amazing. We don't know what to call it yet, but we're gonna have a lot of inspiring people come and join us, and even contribute more to these thought provoking conversations, like you say.
Facts. I'm super excited with how everything's been going. I always say that in every episode, but everything's going in the right direction. So what else am I gonna say? If
Hmm.
things are getting better, I'm gonna call it out, because the same way we complain about stuff, that when it gets worse or when it stays the same or when it doesn't go our way, we gotta big up the good stuff too. So stay butter.